Brothers and sisters, here we are. We have started the program, Tiyende Limodzi. This program, I introduced it last time, and I explained about the theme, Walking Together as Archdiocese of Lilongwe. And we introduced it that it will be having information, but also some sharing that we'll do about the life in the Archdiocese and also about the church in general. So this is a program that we are now starting, and I wish you all the best as we share what is there ahead of us. Now, what we are going to start with today is to get to know our Archdiocese. Our Archdiocese, Archdiocese of Lilongwe, as you know, is located in Malawi. It bears the name Lilongwe Archdiocese, but it's not only located, our parishes are not only in the district of Lilongwe. We are a archdiocese that is covering the following districts. Lilongwe, as I've said, we are in Dowa, Ntchisi, Kasungu, Nkhotakota, Salima, and a bit of part of Dedza. So these are the districts that come together, and we are forming this Archdiocese. As we go towards the border with Zambia, that's in Mchinji, that's one end of the diocese. As we go towards Kasungu, just as we approach Duangwa River on the way to Kasungu North, that's another border. Then we go to the other side, to the lakeshore side. We have the parishes of Duangwa and also Nkhotakota. That's the other extreme. Then we look at as we are going towards Blantyre on the highway, we have the part which is after Mchinji as we move towards Dedza. So this is Lilongwe Archdiocese. Now, when did this Archdiocese start? And that's what I would like also to introduce us to know where we are coming from. The Archdiocese goes a long way back. Around 1897, we have activities, missionary activity in what was then the Vicariate of Nyasa, a territory that extended over more than the whole part of Malawi and then our neighboring countries. So this was the beginning of missionary activity, and then later on we find that in 1959, this territory was demarcated by the church, and it was recognized as a diocese. At that time, it was Lilongwe Diocese. Now, that is 25th of April, 1959. And in 2011, this diocese became Archdiocese. I will explain what is an Archdiocese, but I think it's good to know a little bit of where we are coming from. Now, when we talk of an Archdiocese, all the territories that are governed by bishops across the world, these are dioceses. They are under what we call the local ordinary. Now, that's the bishop who is in charge of the diocese. And a diocese, as you know, it has all the life of the church. They are the priests, the religious, the laity, the sacramental life. We have all kinds of movements that are there. I'm talking about lay movements, all that you know very well. So it's organized as a territory that governs itself under the Pope. So this is one side is a territory on its own, but it's also, as you know, the Catholic Church is universal. So there are dioceses that are put together as a group of dioceses, as a family of dioceses. This is what we call an ecclesiastical territory. Now, this or ecclesiastical province. Ecclesiastical province when we read the laws of the church, canon law, they do explain very well what is an ecclesiastical province. So dioceses, for the sake of communication, for the sake of easy planning together, these dioceses they are grouped together into a province. So in the case of Malawi, we have two ecclesiastical provinces. There is one ecclesiastical province called Blantyre Ecclesiastical Province, and that comprises the dioceses of Chikwawa, Blantyre, Zomba, Mangochi. Those are the dioceses. I repeat: Chikwawa, Blantyre Archdiocese, Zomba Diocese, Mangochi Diocese. That's the ecclesiastical province of Blantyre. There is a second one, another in Malawi. Now this is our ecclesiastical province, Lilongwe Ecclesiastical Province. Now we get in this province Lilongwe Archdiocese, Dedza Diocese, Mzuzu Diocese, and Karonga Diocese. These dioceses they form, as they said, another ecclesiastical province. Now, one of the dioceses in the ecclesiastical province is given the title of Archdiocese. What does that mean? It means that the bishop who is that of that archdiocese, that diocese, is called upon to promote the unity of the church within that province. So there is the one who is the Archbishop of that, the bishop of that diocese, which is chosen by the Pope, encourages that unity. It doesn't mean that the Archbishop is also the bishop of the other dioceses. No. Each diocese has its own bishop, but is a father figure. Let's put it like that: a father figure who promotes unity of the church in that area. So he works together in a very close way with the bishops as a communion, as a family, encouraging each other in the province on how to promote the spiritual life, the pastoral life, and all that is related to the church. Now that's the archdiocese. So in this case, we, Lilongwe Archdiocese, we have this role that we are within the province, the one who is the bishop, in this case, myself, Archbishop, is called upon to play that role of promoting unity in the province. As a country, we have the conference. So the provinces that come together, all the bishops, they form one bishops' conference. I just wanted to add one thing, and that is the church as we have it. How many are we? How many are we in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe in terms of our population? As you know that it is covering all these districts, and these districts have a huge population, but they will focus on the Catholic population. The figures keep changing because we have always, as you know, the statistics, they have to be updated all the time. We are close to 1.8 million Catholics. This is something that at the moment, some people would say even more, because there are some figures that point towards a higher figure. I've even heard in some cases, people talking of 2 million. But from our survey and our research, we are around somewhere there, 1.8 million. That's a lot of, how many parishes? How many parishes? Now we have, we are going now towards the 51st parish, and maybe soon 52nd. Now those are 51 parishes, but as I said, very soon we are going to have 52. The church is growing. The church is growing. And the new parishes are coming up out of necessity. We would like that people should be close to the sacraments, that the priest should not be far away, or the sisters, or the brothers, and the lay people who are helping, they should be close to the church. so that everyone can be able to have a chance to participate in the Christian life. That's why we are opening more parishes. Well, normally the church looks at the growth of the church. So we are talking about the number of dioceses that are coming up in that area. So you can notice that, for example, 3 or 4 dioceses, already we are talking of about a lot of people. That's growth in itself. The church will look first at a consolidated presence in a particular area. So if, for example, a diocese has only in one country I know, in Europe, there's only one diocese, the whole country. That diocese was also given the status of archdiocese. I think it's a special privilege in this case. But normally they would look at how the church is growing, and then they would demarcate a specific area. So in that area, then that's what the first criteria, the growth of the church. And the other thing is that they also look at the possibilities that are there for promoting the pastoral spiritual life. In that area, for example, if it is created as an archdiocese, does that offer them possibility of engaging more meetings and maybe exchanging ideas? That is also considered. And you asked the question, how does one become, who can be Archbishop? The choice of Archbishop is done by the Holy Father. It's the church through the Pope that appoints one of the bishops to an archdiocese. In this case, any bishop, whether it can be also auxiliary bishop, coadjutor. I will explain about these other bishops. This auxiliary bishop or coadjutor bishop or the local ordinary of another diocese can be appointed to a diocese which is archdiocese. That appointment of a bishop to an archdiocese is what also automatically we can say confers on him this title of Archbishop. The rite of it, when I say the rite, I mean the whole installation of being Archbishop is symbolized in a very strong way by the cloth that is worn around the neck during Mass. It's a liturgical garment. It's a small piece of cloth that has crosses on it, white, made from sheep wool, the skin of the wool of a sheep. It's made by some monks in a monasteries in Rome. Now this one, as you know, that the bishop is a shepherd. So the Archbishop is given this piece of cloth to remind him that he's a shepherd, not only to his diocese, archdiocese, but to the territory, the Ecclesiastical Province. So this rite is the one that basically given by the Holy Father to a particular bishop to confirm that you are the Archbishop. And as I said, it is this, in brief, I can say is the church that appoints one of the bishops to be Archbishop. It's very possible, and it has happened. I give an example. Just like last year, 2025, the Pope appointed a priest by the name of Father Saverio, who before was the spiritual general of one religious congregation, a priest. He was in a parish, he was not even a parish priest. And the Pope picked him and appointed him Archbishop of Pisa. Now there's an Archdiocese of Pisa in Italy. Those who may want to find out, he's there. Archbishop. So you can say, okay, it's possible. Now, it's straight from, if I can use that word, straight from being a priest to Archbishop. Yes, he can, it happens. Because the Pope has the powers to do that. So it happened, and though it's not very common, but it happens. So there's nothing against a priest being appointed Archbishop. The normal practice seems to be that one is appointed bishop, then the appointment as Archbishop comes at some stage. But this is possible. So we thank all of us. I would like to thank all of us for following up on this, for being together in this program. It's the first time we are discussing the life of the Archdiocese, the life of the Church, and I thank you sincerely for your attention. And let's spread the message of Christ to the world, and let the love for the Church. That's another thing I would like us, all of us, to start, growing, to cultivate our love for the Church, our love for the Archdiocese, our love for the conference. So that's what I would like to thank you for. Next time we'll be looking at another topic.